Alright, today I'll be teaching you guys about how to get into your dream car. Yeah, I'm driving a 2015 Chevy Camaro right now. This is my first car. This is my baby. I personally enjoy it, and I will keep this car forever. So this excludes what I'm trying to say, but there are points with this car that I can apply to what I'm about to say today. So I have a background in cars. I personally enjoy cars. I've grown up around them. My first dream car, like my first dream car, was McLaren MP12 C-4. When they were first released, that was due to me watching like Top Gear in my younger elementary and middle school days. You know, I really watched that. I picked up YouTubers along the way who, you know, teach you about cars, motors, engines, transmissions, specs, options, and, you know, doing research on my cars myself. To start off, some of my dream cars are like the SRT Viper. I do enjoy like McLarens. I do want like a McLaren 675 LT. Today, I would like, you know, to purchase me a BMW G80. The new all-wheel drive, I find those cars very nice. The C8 Z06, the C7 Z06 are beautiful cars. So, you know, those are kind of like some of my favorites right now. But today, it's about you guys. I'm trying to teach you guys how to get your dream car, but enjoy cars in the process. The way I say would do this is like, you know, to get cars that you actually enjoy driving. Like, getting cars you want is almost like a fallback plan. While getting the car you want, it allows you to, like, if you're never able to sell that car, you can keep it still. Like, you know, if you ever get locked into a car, or you sell it too late, or you become super attached, there's always the car that you wanted from the start, to where you don't have regret while you're stuck owning a car. Because during this process, like, and I've done reviews, like, I've done research from other YouTubers. Vin Trava is someone from Hoonigan, and he had a similar video to this. But like, owning and, you know, watching from his experience, from what he stated, he got stuck in certain cars. Another TikToker that I watch, he got stuck with some of these cars. But yeah, the whole point is to literally get cars that you want. If you get in cars with the intent of reselling and flipping cars, this isn't the video. But the moral of the story is, get cars that you want, because, you know, you don't want to get stuck with a vehicle that you generally do not want. Like, for example, you have a deal on Toyota Camry, and it was $10,000, but you can see you could probably resell it for $15,000. If you don't find a buyer, or you do end up running up the miles, or it does cost you more than what you thought you were gonna make, or if the market isn't there, you know, that sucks. Now you're stuck with a Toyota Camry that you don't want, and you have $10,000 invested into. And this plan isn't fail proof, so like, that car probably can depreciate, you know, and you can lose money on that car, upwards of maybe a couple hundred, I mean, as low as like a couple $100s to a couple $1,000s. But the whole point is to get cars that you actually want, like, buy the highest spec. So this car right here is 2015 V6 Camaro. It's an LS. So essentially it's a base package and not the RS package. As many people may know that the RS came, you know, as a model for these cars. So what I mean by don't get the base, like, I'm not saying don't get the base model, but, you know, try to get the highest spec as you can. So in Camaro terms, many people know that they have the inline 4 now, they have the V6, they have the LT1, the SS, you know, the SS, you know, the SS1LE, and then the big dog, the Z01. What you would want to shoot for is the Z01, due to the fact that that's the Camaro's, like, you know, the highest version of the Camaro. That's the best spec of the Camaro. With that being said, those, like, the best spec of a certain vehicle, one, doesn't come cheap, two, tends to hold the best value due to the fact that it is the best spec of the car that you can get. Like, you know, it comes with big brakes, they have the track package, they have the Z01 LE, like, you know, but there's nothing better than a Z01 Camaro, if you get what I'm saying. Of Camaros, like, the Z01 is the best of the best. So when it comes to selling it or holding the car over time, at the end of the day, it's still a Z01. Like, you know, it's not like an SS that you can get, or it's not like a V6 Camaro, which is also very common. Like, it's a Z01 Camaro, like the best of the best Camaro. So my point is to try to get the best spec of a vehicle that you can, but you also would want that car. But if you didn't want a ZL1 and you wanted just a regular naturally aspirated V8, you would try to get an SS1LE, because an SS1LE is a lot more rare than the regular SS, you know, because you can get SS in black, white, red, but you can't get an SS1LE, you know, that easy or that simple unless you spec it out or, you know, things of that nature. But the point is to try to get a car of a higher spec. Know when to sell a car. Knowing when to sell a car is like a big contributor into these, like, you know, like with the transition from the C7 to the C8, when the C8 Zeos, like when the C8 was announced that they would not be, you know, producing manual transmissions, if you had a C7 that was a stick shift model, or like if you had a C7 ZR1 or a C7 Z06 and it was a stick shift, essentially the value of those cars would hold a lot better than an automatic version, because, you know, Chevy isn't producing a manual version of this car anymore. So you kind of have the last generation of a stick shift vehicle. Same with the BMWs. The BMW M3, the E92 M3 was the last of the V8 M3s, especially the V8 M3 and a two-door option. The current, you know, M3, the last two generations, the F80 and the G80, both of those are four-door sedans. But along as the, like, aligning with the name of M3, the M4 comes as a coupe, but it isn't an M3, and that's the whole point of the story. Like, as the M3 option, the E92 is the last of that, you know, and let alone they have the DCT options and they have the manual. So with that being said, in my opinion, I would prefer the manual if I had to pick it, because I'm just a big manual guy. But the DCT is a very good option of that car. But you get the gist, like, you know, you want to get cars that are the highest spec, or, you know, if you are plotting on getting a car, you know the history or know the news behind it, keeping up with the times and knowing when to sell a car could be a big impact on how much money you make. You could profit, you can lose, you know, if you do this incorrectly. It would be to be cautious of the mileage, because it is a car. At the end of the day, I'm not saying that the cars won't depreciate, but the whole point is to try to get, you know, from A to B, not A to B with the car, but yeah, from point A to point B with the car. Like, you want this car, but you want it temporarily, and you do have hopes and get into a new car, like a new body, a new vehicle, while saving money or enjoying the car, or, you know, profiting in that progress, you know. But being cautious of the miles, the way you would try to want, you know, the way you would want to be cautious of the mile or keep the car for like a couple months, I say no more than like 9 months max. Some people say upwards of a year, but I say 9 months max if you're going to use that car as a daily, and if you don't have multiple cars, because using certain cars as a daily, you can run up the miles very, very fast, and essentially this would cause you to lose a lot of money. Like, in my opinion, like with the history of Hellcats now, but previously, if you were to buy a Hellcat brand new, you could run up all the way up to 20k miles. But, you know, if you get to a Hellcat that's 40, 50, 60,000 miles, you can notice the price tends to drop like by the thousands, you know. And with that being said, like, you don't want to dog the car so bad to where you're losing all your money that you invested. But the whole point of this video is to try to keep your investment, you know, keep the money that you put into that car still in that car and not lose too much money. So you don't want to put too much miles on the vehicle. So deals, specs, and options on the car play a big role in the car. Another car brand that I really enjoy is Porsche and Ferrari. It's certain things like, you know, cup holders. I know BMW at one point, you had the option, like, and sometimes the cup holders over time, like once they stop producing the cars, can be $1,000. Like, I know with the 3 Series BMW, there were certain cars that it was an option, like a $400 option, to put a cup holder just in the dash. Like, you would tap it and the cup holder comes out. So simple things like that, you know. Small options like a carbon roof, like on BMWs, they have the option between having a sunroof or a carbon fiber roof. You know, things like that. Like, a lot of people do tend on getting the competition like the competition roof with the carbon fiber, because who doesn't want carbon fiber as a car enthusiast? And that's a better spec option. The car is lighter, carbon fiber, and carbon fiber. But yeah, statistically, those cars with the carbon fiber roof tend to hold its value better than the cars with the sunroof. So, and to car enthusiasts, the people you're trying to sell it to, tend to, you know, want the carbon fiber roof better than the sunroof. So that's something right there in the options that, you know, can cause you to save some money and possibly, you know, gain money as you try to sell a car. But so the last step is to enjoy the car. I say this because at the end of the day, it is your money. You can do whatever you want, and I'm not, you know, telling you to do X, Y, and Z. Like, you don't have to follow the script, but it is beneficial, you know. But at the end of the day, it is your car, you know. Enjoy it, have fun with it, do whatever you want to it. It is your money. I'm not telling you how to spend it, but enjoy the car and the progress, because, you know, who knows whatever may happen. You may sell a car and that'll be the last spec of that car, or, you know, the last version of the car. Or, you know, if you get too attached to it, you know, at least you had good memories instead of, you know, babying the car for the time that you had it, the 6 months you had it. Like, for me personally, if I own the Lamborghini SVJ, which is a very beautiful car, I personally would want to dog it. Even if I'm keeping it for only 10,000 miles, those would literally be the hardest 10,000 miles on a vehicle. But I would have upwards of 1 million memories of, you know, being the owner that dogged the car for so long, you know. And I'm not saying, you know, just beat the car and give it to the next person, but essentially the car is made by the manufacturer to be enjoyed. You know, these cars aren't like, you know, glass silverware. These cars are machines. So enjoy the car. Like, that's the whole point. Being a car enthusiast isn't to, like, you know, be a cookie. You know, it's not a cookie. Like, you know, you don't just put it in a box and, like, you know, package it nice and, you know, make sure this and that. Yeah, you can keep your car clean and X, Y, and Z, but the whole point is to enjoy the car. That's what the car was made for. You don't buy a performance car and not hit the gas, or, you know, not expect to light the tires up, or not take it to a track, or not do donuts, you know, simple car things. Not mod the car, not do downpipes and tunes on BMWs, like, you know. But that's the whole purpose. And I hope you guys appreciate and enjoy today's video. I probably got a lot of it editing to do today, but I hope you guys like, subscribe, and go watch my previous videos. I'm gonna have some pop-ups on the screen, so hope you guys check me out and enjoy, you know, today's content. And if you have any ideas, tips, or anything you would like to mention in the comments, just add that down below. This is an open community, you know, and I would like to talk to you guys. Appreciate it.